Welcome back to Lloyd and JD, the best fucking podcast in the world. I'm Lloyd.
I'm JD.
And we have a fresh new band on the show, which is great because lately they've been watching us. And you guys are...
Fighting our last days.
Fighting our last days.
You betcha.
So I would have said that, but due to the joint that I pre-smoked,
Hey,
we went over this. I told you that I was going to have problems.
Help the kid out, man.
Yeah, so fighting our last days, because you guys did have was it an acronym? Is that what you call
Fold,
it?
yep.
Fold. Apparently you've gone away from Fold now.
Well, you know, it's for close friends and
Close
relatives.
friends.
Yeah.
People that can't
So
pronounce
if someone calls you Fold at a show, you will get your ass beat if you're not a close friend.
Yeah.
Just be warned. It's like...
It's an exclusive club.
Yeah, it's an exclusive. You got to
totally
pay
exclusive
VIP.
club. You got to get the tattoo and the patch and everything.
Okay, so...
Beat in, beat out kind of thing. Jumped
Yeah.
in, jumped out.
Not the
Start
kind
off
of beating
as
you're
a
thinking about,
prospect.
though. Different kind of
Get a
beating.
card.
Yeah.
So we were talking about you metal, or was it hard rock? You didn't really. You were talking about. We
That's
were talking
that
about
whole- that's
making
that whole
genres,
genre,
but you guys
yeah.
didn't want to make a genre.
That's that whole
So
genre
we're gonna
thing
call
we
you
gotta-
guys hard rock or
Hard rattle?
hard rattle. That's what you came up with.
No.
No. Hard rock / metal, depending on what song you're listening to, I guess.
What are your influences? I guess let's go from there. Is it like, as a well-known band, what would influence you guys coming up, learning your instruments?
Oh man, my influences are extremely broad, from everything from
Yeah.
the old classics right up to Maiden, Priest, Sabbath, Deep Purple, all the main '70s heavy metal from that era has been
Yeah.
my influence, right up to some of the newer stuff too, like Pantera, Megadeth.
See, I love Pantera, Megadeth. That was
stuff.
That's more my genre.
Yeah.
Was Pantera, Megadeth.
Yeah, so but then right down to some of the weird kind of mellower stuff too. I mean, like I like big band stuff too, like Chicago, Three Dog Night, Doobie
ABBA.
Brothers,
Yeah.
all kinds. No,
Wow.
Brothers,
we
yeah.
draw the line there. I go from A B to AC.
Yeah, okay,
A C
sweet.
D C would be. Yeah, let's start there at the alphabet. And
All right, sweet. And are all you guys the same, or I'm guessing vast
I'm
interest?
younger, so Alice in Chains, Tool, Queens of the Stone Age, stuff like that. So
All right, okay, sweet. So I'm kind of getting a gist of what you guys are into. Do you guys meet in the middle and more the modern era of metal, or are you sticking kind of classic though? Because they're very different. let's
Yeah,
be
oh, yeah.
honest.
I don't know. I don't think we try and do anything on purpose. It's just whatever comes up. I mean, like writing songs, write a gazillion bunch of hooks and riffs and shit.
Yeah.
And then only a certain amount of it comes into a full song, and and it could get nixed by these guys. Like, nah, it's not a full song, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically it's our identity that we're after, more or less, when we write a song. When he writes a song, and then we lay vocals, and it's like, is this us or is this not us? And that's kind of how we go about it. It's not really what's our influence behind this song. Is this a Fold song? Is this gonna sell as are we gonna be proud to play this, or is this gonna fit?
And the question is always, is it heavy enough? So that kind of tells you the direction that we want to progress to. Right?
I like that direction.
Yeah. So, but then again, like we were talking about the other day with somebody, we're kind of not in a box, and we're kind of halfway in between. We're not hardcore, we're not metal, but then we're not, commercial rock either.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a battle. It's not really a battle, but I don't want it to sound like conflict or anything. But our producer always wants a certain amount of commercial viability of the band, so that we can, be presented in certain dynamics and demographics and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So, we listen to that to an extent, right? So, yes, a little bit of commercial quality, I guess, to our music, but at the same time, there's some heavy riffs, and we want to just get heavier.
We
from
have to
there.
meet in the middle
Yeah.
to get. That's how you get fans. That's how you make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's part of the whole process.
think
I think that's the hardest thing for some bands. I think because if you want to be a metal band, it's hard for some metal bands to want to do stuff like that because the metal scene, you got to be as hardcore as hardcore can be.
Yep.
And if you're not as hardcore as hardcore can be, it's like, oh fuck you. But
Yeah.
you have to. There has to be some middle ground where this isn't you just screaming in my face.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what kind of
That's what we're
separates.
Otherwise,
Stay
you're never
away
going to
from,
sell.
yeah.
You're just constantly going to be
Yeah.
in a garage or in
Which
a
I
basement.
respect that music, but that's not what we are. And I think
Right.
our first EP shows that this was our EP for us,
Yeah.
and finding our sound. And I think you'll find in our next one, it'll be a little bit more commercially savvy. I think it'll be
So this one just came out recently.
yeah.
And when was that? This month or last month?
Last month.
We released it on May 27th.
Yeah.
And I heard you guys were on the radio.
Yeah, we were on the Eagle. We've been on Ultimate. We've been on CJSW.
So that's fucking awesome.
No.
Not bad for a band that's only 6 months old.
Well, yeah, that's really good for a band
Yeah,
that's 6
yeah,
months
that's,
old. Like, you know, we have bands that have been together for like 5 years, sometimes 6 years, 7 years, and you know, fighting to get that, you know, getting on the radio is difficult.
It's not a pounding pavement. It's not. Yeah. It's not
And
that
you know, and a
easy.
lot of it, you know, and it's true what they say. It's not necessarily, you know, who you know really helps. But that being said, you know, it doesn't matter who you know if you're not a decent person, respectful or accommodating, and all these words, you know, then you're not going to be attractive to them, and you're not going to.
Everything has to come together, but who you know is a part of it. It's part of the package.
Definitely.
Right, and again, it doesn't matter who you know. It's how you know, nobody wants to represent an asshole.
Yeah.
Right, so you know it's all about being decent as well.
Maybe a
right?
bigger
You gotta be
asshole.
smart, and especially in today's market, you know, you need to be smart. And
I've had to
and
scale it
plan.
back a
A
bit.
gaping asshole.
I've been hitting the Kegels pretty hard to try, and I want to get represented one day. So nice tight asshole when we show up.
Yeah.
Got it nice and bleached for them. Yeah.
So what are your
No
roles in the
hair.
band? Because we do have Guy not on mic here who's on camera for lovely viewers. He's just
That's
eye
Terry
candy for
Bodyguard,
today.
Yeah.
especially with that
He's got,
NYPD
the
shirt
sexy
today.
hair. It's just complete eye candy in the corner. Yeah.
He's so pretty.
We're going to get real interesting when we do the photos later on for the podcast. It's going to be it. Pigtails and stuff. It's gonna be nice.
Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah. So who's singer?
Me.
You're a singer.
Yep.
So what would you say your vocals are like? Like what is there something you base your vocals on, or someone you idolize as a vocalist?
Lots of people. Lots. I don't ever narrow it down to one or two guys. There's been so many influences in my life that over the years, as your musical taste changes.
Yeah.
For me,
That tends to happen.
yeah, and for me, more or less, was just finding my own voice. This is my first original project I've been a part of, and I only started singing 3 years ago. So
And that's got to be the hardest thing to do, especially being in
it's
an
huge.
industry that's so massive
Yeah.
and where everything's almost already been done. You know, it's hard to find a riff that doesn't sound like some other riff.
That's
when
one
you
thing
find an
yeah.
original riff, it's like, fuck yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
So it must be hard as a singer, as a guitar writer, to, you know, stem away from sounding like the person that you
Yep.
idolized or the people that you listen to.
And
Extremely
thankfully,
hard
I
to do
don't
that.
sound like anybody else. And that's the best compliment I think I've gotten is I've never heard anybody sound like you before. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, well,
That's awesome.
It's always great when you get what you're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for.
Yeah, and he
That's
does
exactly
have
what
a
I want.
unique original voice. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We were very lucky to find him, and it was just purely by chance too.
Yeah, well, and a big thing about band is finding the singer that the band's proud to play behind, right? Because you know,
And
it's
at the
hard to
same
tell
time-
your singer.
Thanks for the
it's
nod,
hard
Terry.
to go up to your
Thank
singer
you.
and be like, mate, like last song was a bit shit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Well, you know,
that can get fucking awkward.
there's people out there that'll attest to the fact that you know, I don't have any problem doing that.
And that's good. It's always good to have someone like in the band. And let's be honest, because if you get a band of people that are too scared to go and tell the lead singer that maybe, you know,
Oh no, we got
take a
honesty.
class
That's,
and
yeah.
or
And I do.
you know, and
I
find-
do take vocal lessons. It's
In-
and I
and
won't stop doing that.
In a band, I think that's the best thing to have is honesty with each other and not be scared to be like, you know what, you were slipping a little back there, or I think this needs to be worked on. You know, that
know
needs
what,
to be worked
JD,
on.
that's-
Because you can never criticize yourself like someone else can.
Exactly.
That's
you
the
know.
toughest thing right there. And what's awesome about the guys that we have, we can be honest with each other, and nobody, you know, you might be offended or whatever at first, or you know, raise your eyebrow and shit or whatever. But we can all get past
That's
that
life,
within a
though. If
few
you
minutes.
can't
Yeah,
get past that, you're gonna have a hard fucking life.
That's right.
But
So
We're all
you know,
proud musicians at the same time,
that's
though, right?
That
So-
was a problem
Yeah.
with previous members. You're trying to be honest with them, and they take offense to it, and then the attitude and the back gets up and everything else. Well, that's not who we are. So hence that's why they're not in the band anymore. So and they take offense to it. You can't give them any constructive criticism. You can't help them, and you try and help them and try and give them advice and stuff or whatever, and they just take offense to it. And
You sure as hell can't play a live show if there's animosity.
yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So
Your live show will reflect how your relationship with
Well,
your
and the
guys
rest
are.
is the recipe to an amazing band.
Chemistry's
is that,
gotta be there.
You know, you're all proud of each other and how you've grown even as a team. How you're, if you tell him he needs to work on this, you see an improvement in it. That's going to make you even more proud to play with this guy. You know, it's part of the whole team, and I think that's one of the biggest problems with bands today is you know, being able to insult each other and not be a fucking vagina about it. You know what I mean?
Cohesiveness, man. That's
so
huge.
To take it personally, these guys are both dicks.
My head's
And we
shaped like a
both have
dick.
them.
So
It's
I'm
almost
gonna-
easier
I
if you're
resemble
a
that
dick
remark.
because
All
if
right.
people know you as a dick, it comes off better anyway. Because they're like, you know what I mean? It doesn't
if you're not
hurt
being a
as
dick, then
much.
it's
I know
like,
you're a
oh.
cocksucker anyway. So
Hey man, I look at it as I'm reflective. If you're gonna be
Yeah.
a dick to me, I'm gonna be a fucking dick to you, and you know it's just gonna be a dick waving contest, and I'll win. I'll win.
Like a sword fight.
Yeah.
touching tips and stuff.
You know.
more into docking.
I heard about docking recently. And that
just heard
shit
about
is,
that now?
that shit
Oh,
is
man.
fucked.
Yeah.
When
Especially when
someone had
somebody,
to talk
somebody
me through
shows
it, and
you
I was
what
like,
it is, you're like,
that's not real.
not even a thing.
No one
And
does
like,
that. And
nah.
he was like, I'll show you right now. I'm like, I'll take a pass. Usually I'm down for watching, but that sounds too.
Now, if they're ready to give you a
weird.
real demo, pass.
Yeah.
Pass. You give me the
Docking-
finger demo, that's one thing. That's disgusting enough.
Docking should not be a thing.
Yeah.
How someone designed that, it blows my mind that two fucking people sat in a room and was like, dude,
There's too many boating
I
terms,
got a,
like Dutch
I got
rudder,
a
you
fucking
got the
idea
fucking
right
docking,
now,
too
and we
much
just
boating.
need to do it.
It seems like the weird thing, man. Everybody's trying to come up with a new term and shit all the time, a new short form, a new fucking.
We were just
tag
talking about
and
that in a
shit or
2-minute
whatever.
topic because they're blind porn now, so you can be visually impaired and still get your rocks off.
Yeah.
What is it, with
Yeah.
Braille? How do you do that?
Well, someone talks you through it, like it's going in, it's going out. He's slaps.
Fuck, you must be
That's
incredibly
fucking hilarious,
descriptive
man.
to pull that
The
off.
descriptive porn.
Yeah, that's
All right.
exactly what it
Awesome.
is.
Awesome.
It's exactly right. So things are getting seriously fucking
Yeah.
weird.
Your shiny,
So
shiny
they-
meat
But
shaft is
sex
going
is very
in,
visual
yeah.
because there's so many fucking
Well,
positions.
Well,
these
to us, because we're
days.
not fucking
the-
blind, though. Remember, if you were blind, you'd be like, okay,
Can
figure
you
something
imagine
out. I'm horny.
The
Let's
Foley
go.
artist sitting there going,
Yeah, oh, nasty. I think they're real sounds. I don't think he makes the sounds himself.
but how would you know if you're
now he's
blind? What the
spunking.
hell's going on? Really?
Oh, he just came all over her face. Oh, it's everywhere. It's in her eyes. Everyone's laughing but her.
You got two gay guys pretending
It's so
one's a girl
drippy,
and shit.
yeah.
You wouldn't know.
That job just seems fucking messed up.
Yeah,
The
it
things
does.
that we have created.
So you guys mentioned you got an EP.
Yeah.
Just the one EP out at
Yeah.
the moment.
I think.
I
don't
believe
know.
it's on the back
It's in the
table
back
there.
there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So EP, produced. We recorded that right here at MCC Studios. Great place. Dave Temple and Johnny Gasparic do all the work there. It was awesome. We flew in our producer, Danny Craig. He's from old band Default. People can think what they want about Default, but putting that aside, he's a super awesome dude. And he's really knowledgeable and really knows his shit behind the
Yeah.
board and in his ear. He's got an awesome ear for music, regardless of the genre. So he works in several genres. Doing that with him, it's great. We get, the relationship that we have is awesome, and that's a really good thing to have
Well, you seem
with a
happy.
producer, right?
That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, no, he got a lot out of me as well. Like he was amazing to go. Like I flew out to Langley to go lay the vocals at his place.
Yeah.
He's an amazing producer.
Yeah.
He got so much out of me that I didn't know that I had in me. So
Oh,
found
did he?
my voice even more there, and he got the best out of me.
It
So
sounds like
that's
you, was it just you and him up there?
Just me and him,
Sounds
man.
touching.
Oh,
Was it what
yeah.
I wonder?
I stared at the back of his
I know,
head for a good
right?
8
it
days.
sounds like some docking was going on, but I'm just gonna. How did he get that out of you? It just.
Well, he'd come up behind me and whisper sweet nothings.
Yeah, that's how I'm picturing
It's
it.
like,
Just a little more. Just.
prepare for insertion. You're like, okay.
I'm not quite
It was a
feeling you,
Titanic
Jay.
moment where his hand slid down the condensation on the sound booth.
I'm not quite feeling you, Jay.
No, I'm joking, but that's great that you can have that relationship, especially as being a singer. It's nerve-wracking getting in that booth.
For the first time, yeah.
I know a few guys that do singing for bands. Personally, I went to school with, and they all had nerve-wracking time getting in that booth for the first time and singing.
Yeah, because sometimes that vocal booth is.
Well, and the way they
A
talk to
box.
vocals is you got to give it 100%. And when you're nervous and when someone's watching you, you don't.
And try doing the same line over again about 80 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to
That's-
give
yeah.
100%.
Again,
But what's
again,
awesome
again.
about-
Like you mean it. You're like, I did mean it, man.
Yeah.
What's awesome about
I got
working with
nothing
Danny and
left.
doing it at his studio, though, it's he's not isolated and set in a separate vocal booth. He's right there in the room with Danny.
That
at
must
the
be a
board.
lot better.
Oh,
because
nice.
It is,
Right,
Yes,
so it's a
yeah.
lot more comfortable. And
Being
a lot
isolated
more,
must
you know,
really.
Yeah, you'd be alone in there and then trying to find the reason to sing every line as hard as you can every time would be
Yeah.
tough. But having Danny right there, I'm staring at the back of his head, but After a while, you can even see when his hair moves what kind of facial expression he has. That's how long you spend in there. You're like, oh, you didn't like that dick. Let's redo it. Okay.
Yeah, you can't do that with him. So
he's really good at making you feel comfortable, right? And and relaxed, because you're not going to do well if you're nervous. A vocalist, the vocal cords are all tightened up and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you're under pressure or whatever, as a guitar player, you end up trying too hard, overplaying or underplaying and stuff, and you can really destroy yourself in the studio or spend an outrageous amount of money.
Yep.
In that setting.
Yeah.
I would be nerve-wracked.
I made it comfortable right away. First couple hours, it was.
I'd throw up in the booth.
Yeah.
All over
Well,
the mic.
the good thing for me, and the guys, I don't know, if they'll attest to it or whatever, but I tried to make everybody else feel comfortable. I've known Danny for over 15 years and talked to him lots and stuff. Even back when he was in Default and stuff. So, so there was always that comfort zone. So we would hang out. And
Drink alcohol? Alcohol must take the edge off, no?
Can't
Yeah,
drink
it's not good
alcohol,
for the
unfortunately.
vocals,
Can't.
though.
No. Dry out your vocal cords. Any diuretic, basically.
That would definitely take the edge
like
off. Wouldn't give a
It
fuck.
would take the
You
edge
wouldn't
off.
give a
And
fuck
I don't
after
even
cool.
do that live shows because it's either all or nothing, right? And then if you're getting into the all, then you're not putting a good show on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I stay away from the booze.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll drink after the
keep
show.
the libations
Just
for
get-
afterwards.
Well, I get fucking,
you know?
yeah. As they're tearing shit down, big right with you. Slam a couple tall cans. I'm like, all right, I'm ready.
Because realistically, the only person that thinks you're awesome when you're drunk and playing and shit is yourself. I mean, if you actually listen to yourself play afterwards,
good.
the next day,
And,
So
and it's
good.
funny you mentioned that, because a lot of guys, you'll see it, and a lot of guys that are in bands starting up, they make that mistake. They go, they party, and then they get up on stage.
Well, I think
and
that
it just kind of.
they think the crowd wants that.
Yeah.
And the crowd does it to a certain extent. They're buying
To
you
a
shots
certain
and stuff
degree.
like that. And you're like, thanks. And then you got to, if you take one's fine or whatever. But if you got 6 lined up there, even fuck.
you're not going to make it through your show.
Yeah, just leave them there and be like, thanks a lot, guys. No more. Like, you gotta be stern and stuff like that. But a lot of the crowd, they want to party with you.
Yeah.
That's why you're
Well,
there.
you
You're
gotta
part,
have
of, you're part of the
energy on
That's why they have
festivities, right? So-
the after party.
Yeah.
And that's when you party. When all the shit's loaded up and everything, and that's when you party. That's love to get plowed with the fans after that. And, but on stage, in the studio obviously too, but on stage it's all about putting on the best performance that we can put on, the best rendition of the stuff that we recorded that we can possibly recreate. And
That's what being a performer's about, I guess.
Yeah.
exactly.
Trying to
So-
sound as good as you did on your EP. That's
Like, I wouldn't
what
draw
we're
drunk.
after.
I couldn't draw drunk. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. If you're an artist,
Well, you could.
Well, you can.
No, I've
Next
tried.
morning you'd be
no,
like,
no, I've tried.
it just depends on what type of artist you are.
Yeah.
If you're a drunk artist, then you got to get drunk to do your
Well, yeah,
art.
if you're an alcoholic deep, and you
Yeah.
can handle your shit, I'm guessing it's probably fucking easier.
Yeah, exactly. You
might have a
like
steadier
bands
hand
like the Ramones or whatever.
Yeah.
They made their fame of being wasted and
Well, you got
Yeah,
guys
but
in shit.
then you get to the extreme. Like if you take a look at the Sex Pistols, right? I mean, you talked
Them too,
about
yeah.
John Lydon, and they would unplug like Sid halfway through a show because he was that bad. And he was just drowning out everything else. He was just completely off the map. So I mean, there's definitely continuums. There's some guys that'll operate fine, and there's guys.
It's
that
got
are
to be hard
completely
when the
messed
money
up.
starts coming in, though.
Oh, I imagine
It's got to
it
be
is.
hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I
why I'm
would be
glad I'm
tempted
older
with
now,
the
and if that
drugs.
does happen.
Yeah.
More bait there is.
I would be tempted with the drugs. You'd get me up on stage, and I'd be a bag of potatoes, just a big mass of bone and muscle.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. You're subject to everything, and you really got to develop a thick skin. You got to be. I
don't have that.
have
No,
your
I don't
morals.
either. It's
I
Right.
can't.
Right.
I don't
Right.
drink
Yeah.
because I can't be around it. If I drink and someone brings drugs into the situation, say goodnight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
an instant.
I stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best
I've had
course
to
of
do
action
the
for me.
same.
I couldn't be a rock star, man.
You see that all the
I'd
time.
be alive for about 5 years.
But everybody's a
Or I'd
rock
be
star
like
when they're
Ozzy and just
drinking, right?
burnt with
Yeah, but
it.
if you realize what's more important, you being a rock star or being a drug addict.
And that's
If you can have that conversation with yourself and actually be honest with yourself, and be
Yeah.
like, I want to be a rock star. That other shit will destroy that dream. So if I want to do this, I got to stay away from
I
that.
think a lot of rock stars lose that battle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
lots. Yeah.
A lot.
And having fame and fortune, which we don't quite have that yet. So I couldn't even relate to them on that level. So
Yeah.
until I get to that point, I'll be giving you a call and be like, I'm feeling tempted. Can you come
Don't
get
call me, mate, because
Where are you? I'm at a huge party with a bunch of celebrities. Come and get me. No. I'll be right there. We're going back in.
And
Let's be tempted.
yeah,
and that's awesome.
I will be
mean,
your Sherpa of the mountain.
the fame and fortune, for me, if that came, that'd be, obviously that'd be awesome. But I wouldn't be looking at that for all the party scene and the drugs and alcohol. You could look at all the, as much on one hand, you could say that's all negative stuff, but at the same time, in reasonable amounts or whatever, it's it's fun. It's great.
You can do it without being a rock star. You can still do all that shit.
But the fame and fortune will
in the eye of the
will
I
allow
think
us
it's
to
a
do.
gradual thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you start off with that in mindset,
Well, as you're already
and
a
then
drug
the
addict, you
drugs take
start,
hold,
but-
and you're like,
Well, that just depends on how strong you are. Right?
exactly,
Right.
and
Right.
yeah, lots of rock stars tend to be weak. I guess I would be weak as fuck.
We've lost
Yeah.
lots, and if you don't,
And it's also what you have in your
interests
interests too, right? It's where
Yeah.
where you put your interests in. So that's what I was saying. Like fame and fortune for me, that would just mean all the more opportunity to do music and tour and play. There wouldn't be any time for a bunch of drugs and alcohol because I'd be too busy wanting to be in the studio recording new material. I'd want to be, even on the tour bus or whatever. I'd have my headphones on in my Porter studio and be working on stuff. Or if you're doing interviews like this and. There's ways to keep yourself busy, and for me, it's all about the music and performance. So
Yeah.
I would fill myself so much with that. There wouldn't be time for anything else except for my wife,
Bump
obviously.
during,
where-
on the computer. Bump.
No, that's fine. The force is strong with Yoda here. You wouldn't be able to tempt him.
Yeah, no, and that's good because that'll help you out in the long run.
He'd
to be
smack it out of
honest.
your hand, like that was good shit, man.
I don't give a fuck. I don't put chemicals in my body. So
Yeah, and it's a good attitude.
Just
to
cough.
have.
if it grows out of the ground, awesome. If it's touched by a human being, it's been stepped on by a human being. It doesn't. Fuck. I don't want nothing to do with it. Really. I do that with my food even too. Is, try and be not that I'm a naturalist, holistic, or fucking whatever they call them people or whatever. It's just making decent choices, right?
Yeah.
And now
I'm
you're
like
making
that with
friends.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm like that with anything. Chemicals
Yeah.
are chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Your body is made up of chemicals. We're all chemical. It's a chemical composition, right? So if you start putting chemicals in your body, you're gonna fuck that up, right? So I don't want to be fucked up.
Yeah. It feels good for a little bit, and then it probably gets old. But
Yeah. I mean, like, who doesn't like to, smoke a doobie and stuff and everything? Mushrooms are a absolute blast sitting around
see,
the
I never liked
campfire.
mushrooms. I was more of an acid person.
I didn't do mushrooms until I was 30.
I loved
Yeah,
acid.
'cause I was
Mushrooms
scared of
fucked
them.
me up. I think I did too many.
Yeah.
Well,
I did
when I
that.
was younger, before I smartened up, I mean, like, I did a lot, way too much,
Yeah.
but,
I've done enough acid for like all
I
of
did
us.
Yeah.
lots. And, it was
Never
great.
went down that road.
But mushrooms, yeah, you're right. They'll
Watch
fuck you
people
up.
do
You
it,
do
right?
too many of
That's
them at once,
Fuck, gong show.
they'll fuck you right
Absolute
up.
gong show.
Again, it's like anything else. You do too much of it, it'll fuck you up and you
Yeah.
won't like it, right? So, little bits. I mean, I used to sit there and eat them all night, little bits at a time. I just like a fucking and the next day my face hurt so bad because all I did was laugh. Mushrooms, I just laughed at fucking everything, man. It's like so your buddy could lop his arm off and he's there laying
It's the funniest shit
profusely, and
ever.
I'd be just blasting.
Funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
I'm just strictly weed now.
Yeah.
I love my weed.
So if guys are looking to pick up your EP, where can they get it?
www.fightingourlastdays.com, our band's website. We've only made it available there for now. We might, in the very near future here, start releasing singles to iTunes and whatnot and free streaming. But that's something we're going to sit down and look at. And again, that's discussions that we have with our management. So,
Yeah.
You guys have a Facebook page or
Yep.
social media?
We have Facebook. Where's that
Fake
weed?
book.
Facebook,
I've got
Twitter,
more.
Instagram. So on the main social media sites you can find us as well.
Awesome. So Facebook, Twitter.
We always
you got
hit
your
up the links
website.
down
we
below.
Put the links below.
We're good like that. It was great having you on the show.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Brilliant episode.
Yeah.
Loved having you.
Love
in.
your shit.
You said a lot. It meant a lot.
I'm just here to look good next
You
to
are a great eye candy. I want you here every episode. I feel like you've got bodyguard or something.
Yeah.
It's
that shirt, man, I'm telling you.
Security.
Right?
Yeah.
Security.
So
yeah.
thanks. That was awesome.
Fabio. Just call me Fabio.
Fabio. I like that. I like
Hit
that.
him with a goose. Hit him with a goose.
But I'm Lloyd.
I'm JD.
I'm Joe. That's
Jay.
Terry.
I'm Terry.
Jay. Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
All right. It was great having you on the show, boys.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having
guys.
us, guys.
All right. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
Wonderful.
Good timing.